Well, Barack Obama is on his way to Israel for his first visit as U.S. president. He left late on Tuesday night from Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland. The Middle East peace process and Iran's nuclear ambitions are on the agenda. But the White House is trying to lower expectations, describing the trip as mostly symbolic.
America and Israel are without doubt very close allies. So for Barack Obama's first visit here as president, no expense is being spared, and no amount of red, white and blue is seen as too much, even if the two leaders aren't exactly bosom buddies.
We both agree that a peace based on illusions will crash eventually on the rocks of Middle Eastern reality.
3 years ago, Benjamin Netanyahu publicly lectured President Obama about the realities of Middle Eastern politics in his own office, as the president's aides looked on ashen-faced. Both leaders are said to regard the other with suspicion, and despite recent efforts to dispel that perception, there's still no special chemistry.
Instead, the carefully choreographed three-day trip aims at resetting the president's often strained relations with Israelis and Palestinians.
We appreciate President Obama's visit to Palestine. President Obama in his second term could have chosen any place on earth to go, but he chose to come to Palestine, Jordan and Israel, and this reflects a deep commitment by President Obama to see the implementation of the two-state solution on 1967.
One of President Obama's first acts will be to inspect the US-funded Iron Dome anti-missile battery, which helps to protect Israelis from Hamas rockets coming from Gaza. This is touted by the US as a prime example of its commitment to Israeli security.
These young Palestinians and many others across the West Bank don't think that the U.S. president's visit will lead to any kind of positive change on the issues that are important to them. Today, they bury one of their friends. He died in recent clashes with Israeli forces. He was protesting the fate of Palestinian prisoners in Israel.
Lots of people have come before Obama, so whether he comes or not, it won't change anything. More young people and kids will get killed in Palestine.
The ceremony is barely over and local youths head straight back to the streets to confront Israeli soldiers posted at the entrance of their village. No one here believes that this cycle of violence will end soon. Construction and expansion in the Israeli settlements in the territories is also fueling resentment. This Palestinian man says that tens of new houses have just been built across from his home.
The first problem is the wall of separation they're building to protect the settlers. It cuts us off from our lands, and then the settlement is so big that it threatens our town.
When Barack Obama heads to Ramallah, one group of protesters is already planning on giving him a chilly reception there. Its members will be holding up posters that look like this.
Every decision that Obama makes is in the interest of the Zionists in Israel. So when he arrives in our town and he heads to the presidential palace of the Prime Minister's office, we'll show him that we don't want him here. He's not welcome in our country.